And welcome back to Rob Man World and to what I've just realized is the 20th part of this brief playthrough of Shining Wisdom with all of the greatest controls and the greatest of non-difficult dungeons. So, we are starting again. It is Friday morning. It is June the 10th, I believe, 2022. The third 2020 in a row. So we are going to get back to our wonderful console. Here it comes. The Sega Saturn. Shining Wisdom. Action RPG. And an excellent example of all the things that one should not do when trying to make a Zelda game. Things not to do. Awkward controls. Bad combat controls, making the sword the worst weapon to use out of your entire arsenal. Things you should do include random cars for no reason, because cars for no friggin' reason. Alright, pardon me. Here we go again with the fairy. Hey, Matt Doyle! What's up? Groovy Ash. Guess who's back? Back again? Ash is back. Tell a friend. Yeah. You're still at work. Shh. I don't see anything. If your boss asks, this is a tutorial on how to do that thing you're supposed to be doing for work. We'll all pretend that's the case. Alex67, let's do this! What is my name? You know my name. You know my name. Alright, let's wander into the wild beyond. We were, last stream, we bought herbs again. Hey, Alex, I'm so glad you like the shirt. Thank you so much for buying one and supporting the store in the stream, man. I really appreciate it. I'm glad they're good shirts. I've ordered from Redbubble a couple times in the past, but I haven't in a long time. So, hey, Ryu the Burninator! Burninating my stream chat. Burninating the video games and the thatched roof cottages! Yeah, I know I do that every time. I can't help it. It's that good. So, yes, we stocked up on 61 herbs. That might get me through. We stocked up on herbs. We beat the fire elemental dungeon type fucking thing. Like, so we're playing 6-player TMNT on the stream next week. No. I have curated a collection of games to try, or to stream next, that I will have votes done on. So I'm not sure where the vote's going to be, if it'll be in the Discord, or if we'll do it here, or how exactly I'm going to arrange it, but there will be a vote done to pick the next game. As much as 6-player TMNT might be fun, probably not that one. Hey, Robbie Paul! Happy Friday to you, my friend. May the liquid booze flow like the mighty rivers of British Columbia. May your weekend be fun and exciting. For those that do consume booze. For those that don't, may your vice or lack thereof of choice be plentiful. Or not plentiful if you choose not to partake. See, I'm trying to be inclusive. Oh wait, there's sand. Okay. I gotta try and remember. I'm almost sort of halfway remember part of what's going on here. So that's pretty good. I'm high on life and drugs. Well, that's a good mix. I mean, I never knew cereal could get you high, but we'll go with it. That's fine. That's fine. Mikey likes it. So, if you're old enough to get that joke, how's your back pain doing? I just figured I'd check on that. Okay, lightning shoes. We're going to want the slidey shoes and the lightning zip zaps. Back pain does suck. Okay, so what element are we fighting with this time? Hey, Cramptonite's in the chat, everybody. Let's say thanks to the guy in the chair, the Navigator Supreme, the Cramptonite. Ah, you're 41. Mate, I've got you beat by a good 4 years. I turned 45 just the end of last month. And yeah, that clicking sound in the knees and the lower back pain wonderful additions to the ailment of the month club that seems to show up after you turn 30. It's super great. Hemorrhoids. Yeah, in my 20s, it was a funny joke. In my 40s, a reality that I am so sad I have to live with. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, here we go. Alright, I am now in a dungeon that, does things. I will assume this is probably going to be a water dungeon then? What's going on here? I work tonight, it's a limited interaction. Nope, fair enough, boss. No worries, I will try not to bother you. We'll merge with the machine soon. I really hope not. I've got enough, semi-mechanical, non-organic parts in my body to last me. I'm good. I don't need any more, thanks. Between the carbon fiber mesh that's already in my undercarriage, shall we say, and the carbon fiber mesh I'm about to have put into the rest of my abdominal wall, the metal that's in my leg, the pin that's about to be put through my toe, the amount of other surgeries, modifications, and alterations that have been done, I'm good. I'm good. I do not need any more machine parts, thanks. That's just, that's just my opinion, though. Hey, Giant 49er fans back! How you doing? Come on in, hang out, chill. Party with the friends. Oh, what's with Pumpkin Jack down here, huh? Oh, there's a guy. Looks like a Zaku from Gundam. What are you doing? Don't touch me there. Gives me no feeling. I don't like that. It's awkward and unpleasant. Oh, that door needs a key. That's what that is. There's a very faint symbol of the key on that door, so that's okay. Giant 49ers fan says Mega Man 4 or Mega Man 5. Ooh, getting right down to it. Twitch is making me watch 3 ads back. So I'm so sorry, Ryu the Burninator. Guys, if the ads are getting annoying, I'll get rid of them. I swear, I don't want to bug you guys with them. I also wanted to ask recently, actually, if that's like, if it cuts me off when the ads come on, or if it just sort of pauses and creates a delay, or what happens for you guys, because, man, that's shitty. I'm so sorry. I just, I was trying to... Okay, that little running Mauser is starting to... Hey, Ryu, I'm so sorry about those. Should I get rid of those ads? Do you guys think I should just do away with them? Are they... No matter what the rub... We'll watch your ads because, oh, you guys are so awesome. Thank you, Kryptonite. 3 short ads. Well, there shouldn't be more than 30 seconds worth of ads unless it's when you first log in. Then I'm not sure exactly how it works, but, 2 dungeons have keys in it which allow you to get into the other 2 dungeons. Oh, so I won't get anywhere in here until I do one of the other dungeons that has the key that'll allow me to get through this one. Thank you, Kryptonite. See, this is why you need to have a guy in the chair for this game. Absolutely required. Because they really don't tell you anything and they leave you blind. This game would be so much more frustrating without the assistance of my main man, the Kryptonite. Audio still synced perfect for me. Oh, was one of the Twitches making me audio still synced perfect? Okay, was it off for a bit or something? I don't know. Oh, when I was talking about delays, no, I meant like, does it pause? Like, does it buffer the stream that's happening during the ads and then reinitiate there or not? But apparently it does not. So, you know what? Just in case, I'm gonna try this one out. I'm gonna try this side this time. Come on now. Kapling! There we go. And... Oh? Wait a minute. Is that where I literally just came out of? Because it looks exactly like where I just came out of. Apparently I'm batting 100 on the intelligence scale today, too. Woohoo! Look at me. Smarty Pants McGee over here. No, that wasn't the same one, was it? I was pretty sure that I had gone into this one before. What the hell? So, I was sure this was the one I went to just now. Yeah, with the blue fishy guy and the purple. Yeah, okay. Gotta dodge here. Let's go up them stairs. This is madness. No. This is Sparta. So then I should have the key to this one. Aww, Jay DeStefano. Jesus Christ, my brain is just not firing today. Jay, thank you so much. That is awesome. Just gifted a tier 1 sub to... Wow, I'm not even... You know what? I'm going to need a pronunciation guide for that name because honestly, I'm going to butcher it so terribly. And I would be the worst human being alive if I were allowed to do that. Whoa! No. Oh my. That looks problematic. What do we got going on over here? That's the way back up from down there. That's how we bring up all those platforms, isn't it? That we're back here. It's probably already gone back down by now. Yeah, so there's going to be some flying to do, which is not going to be fun. You know, the last time, JD Stefano. JD Stefano. Good to know. Alright, and you gifted a subscription to Bougon. I'm a horrible human. I'm going to call you Boog. I hope that's okay. B-O-U-G, Boog. Boog. I hope it's okay if I call you that. If it's offensive, I apologize. I'm a terrible person. Matt Doyle! What's up? Alright, let's kill this guy. No, no sparks. No sparks. I'm not scuffing my feet trying to build up static electricity. Let's just... Oh, the... Thank you! Let's give him another one. Give him something to think about. Take that home and smoke it. How many rooms across does this go? Jeez Louise. This is gonna be crazy. I got the Heat Man action going. What's up? Ooh, you've got a 2019 logo next to your name. I don't know what that's from, but that looks pretty cool, man. I ain't gonna lie. That looks pretty damn cool. Okay, well, I best get to the flying then. Let's just get this over with. Although what I might do is... let's try this and the flight helmet, because then I can probably just fly all over the goddamn place. So, Nope! Nope! So that didn't work out that well. Oh my lord. I am... Woohoo! Okay, so this is definitely the ice dungeon. It's gonna be some... I'll tell you what. Alright. Let's go run around like crazy. I don't know what that did, but hopefully it was something good. Ice and flying. First time chat, Ajax559. I know he gets a lot, but I'm a huge fan. Glad to see you. Oh, thank you, Ajax. I really appreciate that. Cheers. I'm glad to be streaming. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Are you guys still enjoying this game? Because if you're not, tell me. And I'll the EU Switch sale is on now. Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, Persona 4 Arena, or Octopath Traveler. Pick one for me, guys. All right. Quetzalcoatl needs some help picking a game to buy out of the sale. If you guys could hop into the chat there, give pros and cons for each of those titles and help decide which one to play. I mean, I don't know a lot about any of them. I've played a bit of Octopath Traveler, and for old school turn-based combat RPGs, it's pretty cool. It does have a few twists and new things in it, but I enjoyed what I played. Donkey Kong Country is a classical series. I mean, come on. And Persona 4 Arena, I've never played. I've never really played many of the Persona games. Didn't really find they suited my personal play style. Boom. They're very Pokemon to me, like Satan-infused Pokemon, which sounds really weird now that I say it out loud, but whatever. Okay. Do I have to step on that switch again every time I come up here? I do, too. Aww. Tropical Freeze. Vote for Tropical Freeze in the chat right now. Dying Light 1 with 7 years of DLC is on sale on PSN for $14.99 and has a PS5 upgrade. That's a hell of a deal. I'm on a PS5, but I'm going to bring my Switch to the Summer House tomorrow. Summer House! My goodness. I feel very, very unfancy going to the Summer House. My goodness. I'm lucky to have a house, let alone a summer house. My. Oh my god, I fell! Oh, you know what? I can jump. What the hell am I? Jesus Christ. Why am I even bothering trying to, like, have... Oh, for fuck's sake. If I put these on... Yeah. Okay, it helps if you actually hit the jump button. I can't even afford a summer. Fair enough. My grandpa passed and owned a beach property from the 60s, and my mom and her brothers haven't decided yet what to do with it. Jesus. Trying to visit for as much as possible. Yeah, also, I mean, if it's somewhere that you used to be able to go to visit your grandparents in the summers and stuff, there's going to be a lot of nostalgia and personal memories in that place. So definitely get in there as often as you can and kind of, you know, hold on to that. My grandparents had a place in Victoria, BC that I used to love going to visit with my family. It was awesome. And, oh, you bloody awful people doing that to me. And, but when they both passed away, it got sold, which, you know, understandable, because our family couldn't really, none of the families could afford to maintain it, but still a bit heartbreaking, you know? Alright. Way! Here we go again. Here we go again! Oh, oh. Look at that, what's down there then, eh? All sorts of interconnected fanciness down here. Going for a run. Ah, you and me both. Got it 91 for COVID. Got it twice. Poor fellow. Survived the first time with a slight cold. Second time. Oh. Who the hell is this? Alright, sorry. Got a stupid thing happening from... Anyway. Having 2 houses is a lot of work. That's why I'd like to make it 3 in the next couple of years. Jeez, I'm so sorry. Tape Flipper said something that got a response of... Air conditioning is expensive. Yeah, it's expensive. I install it for a living, and I still can't afford to put it in my own damn house. You know? Even Robin Chat trying to sell me... What? I got weird telemarketing calls from time to time. Yeah, I hate those. Even in Mark 611. Welcome to the chat and the party. We're going to call it a party. I don't know if it actually is a party, but we're going to call it one. Because I can. So. Ah, you slammed the door in my face. Oh, you nasty, nasty business, eh? Give up. Ooh. Oh, for fuck's sake. Pardon my French. Swear again because I'm cranky. Alright, here we go. Let's see if we can't just... Okay, so... We do that. We can't go through there. We can come down here. Now we're here, and now what? Probably more flying then. Yeah. Let's put on the hat. Put on the dumb hat. Hey. The thing is, my grandpa bought beach property in the mid-60s for like 10 grand. Nobody really cared about it then. Sometimes you get lucky when you're born. Try and get it today. Try and get a house at all for fair pricing. Yeah, it's not going to happen. I'd like to see you play Mega Man Legends. I really enjoyed the stories of you and Johnny playing it. Perhaps someday. That could be. Personal question. Apologize if I offend. Will you be going back to doing HVAC work when you are 100%, or are you going to change careers? That's a very good question, and actually, if it's all right, I will sort of take the extra time to give that the fair answer that it deserves. Ideally, that is the plan, is to go back to the HVAC work, to go back on the tools, to go back to the physical labor job that I had before. That won't be up to me, though. That's not my decision to make. The way things work in Canada with WorkSafe BC and with our Workers' Compensation Board is that we basically, if we are injured at work, and it is an accident, and it is proven to be completely an accident, they will pay for all the medical procedures. They will organize as much of it as they can. They will try and set you up with experts in whatever field you need in order to get better. So that's why I'm dealing with a surgeon for this who is one of the top in the world for orthopedic trauma. After you have had all the surgeries, the repairs, and you've gone through recovery, they then put you through physiotherapy, kinesiology, and all of that. And then they put you through what they call work simulation physiotherapy. So work simulation physiotherapy basically means that you go and you spend a full workday worth of time at a facility that has all of the elements needed to replicate a workday. So I would have to be able to carry heavy weights back and forth from, like, certain distances. Bend over and pick up stuff, put it up high, bend, bring it down. Climb up and down ladders carrying tool pouches. All the things that I would do throughout a day, I need to be able to do, and they will gauge my ability in those areas and determine whether or not I am physically viable to do that job again. If I'm not, then they will say, I'm sorry, we cannot allow you to go back because now it's a safety issue. You are not strong enough or physically able to do that work anymore. You're going to have to figure something else out. In which case, like right now, I am getting financial recompensation for lost wages, but it's very minimal compared to what I used to make, because it was based on what I was making during COVID times when I was not allowed to go out and about very much. So we're scraping by. We are literally, scraping by with what's coming in from WorkSafe right now. So if I can't go back to that, they still have to continue. Thank you, Burnesque, for following. I have to continue. They will have to continue paying what they're paying me now, kind of thing. And I will have to be retrained into another field of employment. So that's kind of a weird situation. Now, that being said, my employers are very keen to have me stay with the company. They love me there. I love being there. And they will work with me to find something agreeable to do. The only other thing that I would say is, if in the interim time between now and when my recovery is complete, this manages to take off well enough, I would love to be doing this instead. But I'm being realistic here. I doubt that's going to be the case. I mean, that would require a large amount of support from the world at large, which I don't think is going to happen. And it's not that I'm being self-deprecating or pessimistic, but I mean, let's be honest. I am not the kind of guy that would have like the 1 million subscriber follow count thing. I'm just a doughy dude from Canada. I'm not, an incredibly attractive girl that can cosplay and act and build amazing things and has a great physical and emotional screen presence. I'm just a fat beardy guy. So, but you never know. I'm never going to say never. If this does pan out, that'd be amazing. But I will likely be going back to the HVAC field, and that is okay. I stay warm wearing my Rodman hoodie. Aw, thanks, Kryptonite. Is there a time frame when my injury should be healed fully? Well, the bone itself is solidified. Now we are trying to get the leg muscles back to strength, my endurance back up, get me physically back into the best shape I can be in. And the time frame for that is quite open. I'm still seeing... Oh, Adabomb just subscribed. Thank you, boss. Thank you so much. Sorry, what was I answering? I was... First time chat. I finally get to see the Rodman stream. All it took was catching COVID and staying home from work. Oh, Hellkaiser, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better very, very soon, and I hope your symptoms are mild. I'm sorry to hear that you got the vid. The COVID is the worst, man. So what was the... Burneskis gifted a tier 1 sub. Thank you. What was I talking about? So yes, the bone is healed. It's getting the muscles and the endurance back up. And that, I'm still seeing the surgeon every 4 to 6 weeks. And he's keeping up on it with me. But that'll be up to my kinesiologist and my physiotherapist as to when they feel I'm ready. And they have told me I've got a long road still. Because the very nature of this injury was far worse than I had at first thought when they had talked to me about it. I literally broke my foot off. Both of the bones were broken clean through and separated, and they had both ripped out through the sides of my leg. My foot was off. It was gone. Only things holding it were tendons and a bit of meat and skin. It was over. But I could still wiggle my toes on that foot, even with it snapped off and bent all crazy. So it was, yeah, the only reason they decided to try and save it at all was because I could move my toes. So this recovery, for what it is, has been amazing. That within 2 years of breaking my foot off, I'm walking on it. Is unreal. It is unbelievable. And I am thankful for that every damn second of every day. Because honestly, that could have gone a lot worse. That probably should have gone a lot worse than it did. That purple thing is really baking my biscuits. So, hey Rodman, I enjoyed your arcade cabinet YouTube video. Thank you, Phoenix. I appreciate that. To answer my question, man, hope the channel... Oh, thank you. That would be nice. I mean, you know, I would love... Thank God I went with a second opinion and didn't amputate. Yes, well, and that, again, is where our WorkSafe program comes into place. I have a case manager who I stay in touch with very regularly. And after I was told that it would have to be amputated, he phoned me and was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Just before you do that, really want to send you to someone else for a second opinion. And they were the ones that set me up with Dr. Pierre Guy, who is... he runs the research labs at UBC. He is at the forefront of research and development on orthopedic trauma. This guy is amazing. So, you know, absolutely glad they put me on that. Because otherwise things could have gone way differently. Now, just in case, I'm gonna... stupid robot things. They start off looking like weird fly... Now, I went down there last time and I ended up getting screwed. So this time... I'm not doing that. Yeah, punched him in the arse. Ah! Screw you, you purple freak. Get out of here. Remember what I said, Rob? My brother's friend lost his thumb. Yeah! See, that's the other thing. Yeah, like, if you do lose a limb or a appendage, what you get for it is so sad. I mean, it's they really... Didn't I just do this room? Like, didn't I literally just do this room? Yeah, the compensation for loss of limb or things like that. Okay, this was the correct direction to go. Now I've got water everywhere. What am I doing? This purple guy needs to piss off. Does my wife give me a time limit to stream? No. That's not... A time limit? Why would there be a time limit? No, the time limits that I have put on my stream I only have sometimes I I only stream for 2 hours a day because I want to make sure that it's a manageable amount of time, but if I do doing it frequently, so that it fits around the schedule of all the other appointments that I usually have. The only days that I have no appointments whatsoever is, well, Fridays. But there are other responsibilities. I mean, my kids are having sports day to day. My youngest is on the autism spectrum, so he needs a lot of support. So we're constantly in touch with the government offices that provide the funding and other resources to try and make sure that he's got everything he needs to grow healthy and happy and have a good life and have every opportunity and advantage to be the best he can be. So there's a lot of coordinating for stuff like that. Although my wife does handle most of it, I do try to be as involved as I can. I have to advocate with the school for him. My eldest is super gifted. He's got a functioning IQ of 144. So he needs a lot of advocacy at school because unfortunately school systems in North America, with the kids who are on the lower end and need extra help, get lots of it. The kids on the higher end who are super smart tend to get left in the dust because, they're so smart they shouldn't need help. And that's not true. They still need extra support. They need help nurturing and growing that more powerful mind of theirs. And it's not their fault that they're above the curve, but then they get kind of left out in the rain and told to do the regular work, and if they're lucky they might get something extra. So there's a lot of that's involved, on top of keeping in touch with all of the various agencies that are involved in my recovery, talking to my employers. Every once in a while the other service tech at our company that they hired will phone me with questions, and so I've got to be available to him. So I do little chunks, but my wife has never ever tried to tell me how often or for how long I can stream. That's not how a relationship works, man. You shouldn't be dictating stuff to each other. You discuss it. You talk about it. Are you okay with having shorter streams, or are you okay missing one today? Or when did you think you were gonna stream? And I'll say, and yeah, no, that sounds absolutely fine. Burnesque just subscribed. Thank you. Hey, Frank Van Paul from the Netherlands. So a relationship should really be give and take anyway. That's what they are. So, yeah, the idea that one of us would ever try to make an ultimatum of the other, slam our foot down and say, you can or cannot do this, and you can only do this, or you're only allowed to have this much time doing that doesn't work for us, because we truly believe in compromise and sharing. Like, that's the only way a relationship will ever work, is if you're both willing to just compromise and share and take some time sometimes and just, work everything out. I get what Rob is saying. I was literally told to slow down doing math answers back in school because I was told to just sit and read comics or anything during math classes. Yeah, well, I had some of that back in high school. I had one math teacher that I really appreciated, who literally let me... It's what they call proving masters. Okay, grade 10 math. I really grok math. I get it really fast. I don't know why. Just numbers like to dance in front of me, and I love manipulating equations and solving them. Don't know why. I've got that kind of brain. But I hated the homework. So it was like 20 questions, letters A to E, subnumerals 1 to 3. It's the same thing with different numbers in it. So I hated it. I hated having to sit there and do this, because after about 4 or 5, I get it. So if I could do the first 3 questions with all my work showing, and then do another 4 with shortcuts that I could prove worked, then my math teacher would let me just, that's it, you're good. Which was awesome. Super awesome. But most teachers don't do that. So it was what he called proving mastery of it. And then my exam scores were always so high that he was just like, yeah, you're good. Case in point, my grade 11 physics grade, because I didn't want to do the homework, was a D all the way through the year until I wrote the final exam, and then it came up to a B, because that's how weighted the exam was to your grade. So, but it's, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do right now. So that's the way things were for school when I was in school. I don't know why we got onto that. Oh yeah, because the smarter kid's not getting the extra help. I'd like to see you play through Octopath Traveler. I hate homework as well, right? For another reason, because when I came home, I wanted to play games. Well, yes, that too. But, you know, also because when I get something, I get it. Why am I spending more time practicing it when I get it? Like, I'm good. You know, I showed my eldest, when he was about 6, an equation that was a fractional equation with algebra. So it was 2 sets of parentheses, a dividing line, 2 sets of parentheses. There was a square root involved, and it was equals x. And I explained to him the slow process of whittling down how you solve each of these in PEDMAS and all of that. Parentheses, exponents, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. Until we got it all the way down to the main answer. And at 6, he understood the concepts of a square root, the concepts of multiplication and division, the concept of a fraction, the concept of solving those issues, or those kinds of math problems at 6. So, you know, kid's obviously smart. I'm going to assume he gets it from his mom. His looks and his intelligence from his mom, thank God. Otherwise, he'd be a festering potato sitting in a basement playing video games like this guy. So, you know, I would like to see you play through Octopath Traveler. I used to finish my work early and go to the computer lab with Doom. Nice. Oh, hello, Elric83. I'm so sorry. Freeze the water. You could make a Mega Man collab game. Which game would you collab Mega Man with? If I could do a collab between Mega Man and something else? I'd like to see Mega Man and Bomberman have a mix-up. So you could have Mega Man running around, and each of the different robot masters had a different style of bomb explosion that would come out of it. Bomb Man would be the obvious tie-in, because, I mean, it's basically Bomberman. That could be interesting. My dad became a chemist and got allergies to what he worked with and went into pharmaceutical industry instead. Huh. I should play a Castlevania on stream. How's it going? Not bad, Cologino. Sometimes you can be unlucky in life. Oh, yes, you should play Symphony of the Night. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, that I do love me some Symphony of the Night, don't get me wrong. But, again, my stream is trying to be aimed at backlog stuff. I'd love to freeze the water, but normally it requires you to stand on a piece of the water to freeze it. See what I mean? And I didn't see that slightly different colored patch that you could stand on to make that happen. So I'm not sure what to do unless that patch was... Oh, you know where it probably is? I should have gone right. And then I could have frozen it and walked across to do the thing. Okay, here we go. Falling down the hole. One more time with the feelings. Woohoo. Bang. Out. Out. Stop touching me there. Out. Give me a no feeling. Wow, I've gotten into some deep stuff today. I apologize for that. It's all supposed to be fart jokes and laughs, so I am sorry. And we're back in another one of these vicious cycles. Round and round she goes. When she stops, never. Quetzalcoatl, just speaking from his... I love Symphony of the Night and Mega Man, but we played them to death as well. Brother see Rob showing us games most of us have never played. Fair. Fair. Can't fault you for that. And I'd like to be playing games that are... Wait a minute. Am I supposed to fly now? Yeah, I am. How do I vote for your next game playthrough? I will put up the list of games that are available for voting on once we finish this one. So when this one's done, I will put up the list of games for voting on to be played next. And then we will pick one and do that. Okay, so now I've come here. Okay. No, 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 no. Oh, fudge. Wait a minute. Why do I keep... I'm an idiot. I keep forgetting that I got these bloody jumpy boots. Oh, well, they work better if you actually, you know, get some speed going. Somewhere in here, there's going to be a place for me to stand and freeze this water. Not for 5 snakes. Where is it? Where's the little freezy spot? There's got to be one. There's always one. Oh my god. This is painful. Sure, it's painful for you guys to watch too. Will you be doing another game series review with Johnny? I love the one you did on Resident Evil series. I don't know. That'll be up to Johnny, really. I mean, that's the stuff that happens on his channel is his channel. So you know, he makes the calls, obviously. It's his channel. So I don't know. I mean, I'm always down for whatever John plans or wants to do. I'm always down to help. If he wants me on the videos, he lets me know. I would love to be a part of as many as I can. Some of them he just has to do kind of by himself because that's the nature of the video. And that's fine, too. I've got no problem with that. But I would love to. I don't know if we will be doing any more. Probably at some point. Nope, I'm not going there yet until I've found the... There it is! I found it! Aha, it's in a weird spot. Don't you dare push me off of this thing. Okay. Come on. Freeze bear! Yeah, baby! Woohoo! Switchy McSwitchy! Wow, 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 wow. Let's get out of here. Sweet jumping Jehoshaphat. That was harder to get out of than I thought. The box art for this game is awesome. Yeah, it is. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous box art. Uh-oh. Oh my. That looks important. Pardon my burp. I apologize. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Uh-oh. Hey! Oh. That goes to a dead end. Hey, Fell Sorcerer is now following. What's up? Ow, robots. I dislike robots. Oh no! I suck again. Fell Sorcerer, what's up, brother? How you doing? Uh-oh, my phone just farted. What's going on there? Yeah, I've been getting a lot lately of these things where it's obviously one of these like phone scammer people that pretends they've texted the wrong number. So immediately, I just got a text that the long-ass phone number, no actual name attached, and it said, hello? So I just wrote back and said, say potato. No, what? I mean, I'm so sick of these things, man. They need to just piss off. Love videos where you and John talk about the worst rage moments you had in games. Oh, you should have seen yesterday's stream, man. I was having rage like an absolute bastard. Matt Doyle, did I play this game back in the day on the Saturn? I did not. That's why I'm playing it now. Doing a full playthrough, because I never did finish this back in the day. Honestly, that should be like a trademark saying for me. Because I say it, John and I both say that so much, but I should have like a back in the day all in caps with a little TM trademark after it. Like, back in the day. Ah! I don't know why it gave me the benefit of the doubt on that one, but I am not going to look that gift horse in its mouth. At all! That was pretty freaking stellar and epic, I'm not going to lie. Hey, come on, let's go. This ways. Where was that little patch of standable ground? Found it! Oh yeah! It's almost like I know what I'm doing. What the hell? It is crazy. Oh no no! My streams are going to be kind of trying to clean up some of my backlog, if anything. It's kind of what the point of them will be. I want to do some backlog clearing, and this is how I do it. Okay, don't touch me. Don't touch me, flying thing. I dislike you greatly. You bother my sensibilities in every way. Yeah. So what am I supposed to... Oh, I bet you what I'm supposed to do next is... Bing, and then come up here, and then come over here, and there's... Nope, that's just that. Okay. Well, that's going to be interesting. What are my top games in my backlog? Oh, God, I can't even. My backlog is so big, I couldn't even begin to, like, these are my top games. I do not know. Okay. So there's nothing there. Nothing else really happening round up in this business. So I'm going to guess that then I'm supposed to go to this corner, come back around here or something, and then jump across that? Is that a thing that can happen? Let's find out. Let's see just how far I get to jump with these. Well, that did not work out well. Ooh, that was a wicked 80s rock and roll drum solo. Am I excited for the RE4 remake? Of course I am! That thing looks baller. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. It's going to be so amazing. Wait, where was that door that needed the key that I saw? Was there one in this dungeon so far? Or no? I cannot recall now. There was this thing. What's a must-play title on the Saturn for someone who's never played it? I would say Guardian Heroes. Any of the Panzer Dragoon games. Must-play Saturn titles. Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold is the best version, home console version of Street Fighter Alpha I have ever played. The Darkstalkers games. Mega Man 8 and X4. Definitely. Far superior to the PlayStation version for graphics and animation. I do not hate RE4. I don't know where that rumor got started. I did not care for it as much as I cared for the rest of the series when it first came out. Do you plan on doing any type of playthrough videos for YouTube, like a Let's Play? No. YouTube, I'm going to try and keep it to things like my reviews and... you know, there's one coming up that's going to be sort of a health update type deal, stuff like that. I am brain farting left, right, and center. Back to the beginning where flying and Switch was. Okay, so now do I need to go to this side? Is there anything over here that I need to deal with? Oh, jeez. Okay, now that I've hit that switch, does that door open? Oh, thank God I managed to sneak through. Woo! That was a close one. Ooh, diddly-oo. Alright. Guardian Heroes is so good. I love that game. Really good sort of side-scrolling beat-em-up. There was a spiritual successor on the 3DS. It was called something like Princess Sword? Sword Princess? Something like that. Which was also made by the same group, and it was an amazing game. But yes, Guardian Heroes, definitely recommended for your Saturn playing pleasure. Why do I feel like I want to go this way? I feel kind of like this is where... Oh! Oh, snap! Oh, here we go again. I think I'm probably supposed to be doing this guy and the fire guy. Oh, it's gonna be a battle, or what are we doing? Like a friggin', what are those called? Do the battling tops fight? Is that what's going on here? All right. Yeah, motherfucker. This. Why am I running all... What the hell? I pushed down and I ran off the top? Man, that had to hurt. Why am I drifting off the side all the time? What is going on with my controls? Is there wind blowing me right now? Are you effing serious with that crap? I'm gonna beat this thing 18 ways from Sunday. Hey! Piss off, you spinning top bastard! Good thing I stocked up on herbs. Code of Princess, that was the one. Thank you. This guy's a dick. Fuck off! Stop it! Okay. Hey Rob, I had a Saturn back in the day. What would be your top 5 Saturn games? Not the best time to answer that question. I'm so sorry. Right in the middle of a deadly boss fight that is kicking my monkey butthole all over the freaking tiny platform that I have to fight this guy with. Alright. Come on. Hey, damn right, buddy. I'm gonna kick your monkey ass. Sword and wind. What? Why would I use wind on the wind guy? Ah! Fuck monkeys. Sorry, pardon my French. I'm swearing again. Goddamn son of a bitch. This motherfucker. Okay. Yeah, top... Okay. I'm just going to say this. Asking a top 5 while I'm playing on the stream is going to be tricky, because top 5 lists are the kind of things you really want to, like, think about. I mean, obviously off the top of my head, 2 of them would be Mega Man X4 and Mega Man 8, of course. Guardian Heroes would be one of them. Legend of Oasis would be one of them, even though I've never actually finished it, and I want to. Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold. There you go, top 5. Hey, I did it! Wow, that was impressive. If I may say so myself, because my brain normally isn't that sharp at this point. So, yeah! Man. This game drives me crazy with this kind of crap. Okay, here we go. Let's put on the stupid hat again. I don't know why you would use wind against a guy whose elemental power is wind, but okay. I do not understand the logic of some of these games at all. It's like, here, let's just randomly make shit happen because we can. That's cool. Alright. Come around here. We come up. Back off! Blue fish prick. You're an ass. Nobody likes you! Alright, here we go. It's my favorite horror game, Silent Hill 2. Always was, always will be. Silent Hill 2, baby. Sexy as the day is long! Maybe this game has backwards mechanics where you use their element against them. I don't know. It just seems weird to me that they would do it in general. Like, it just doesn't make any damn sense to me whatsoever. Alright, come on, prick. Fucking prick bastard, son of a... Cheap wind spewing prick. Fucking goddamn dick slapping wind monkey motherfucker. Oh. Eat an absolute pile of horrid festering dicks. Jesus. Here we go again. Let's just go back into the repeating pattern of falling off the platform because there's wind with no idea of where it's coming from because this game is so well made. Alright. Sword and lightning. Oh, now that I've put on the right combination, you're just never going to land? Uh-huh. Why the... That's working out great. Damn it, game. Figure your shit out, will ya? No way! Die! Die, you insufferable wind monster! Die! Die, you elemental dick nugget! Die, you horrid smelling fat fuck shit bastard fuck! God damn it, stupid ass ramming shit ass fuck quick bastard goddamn stupid face slapping monkey fuck. Come on. Sorry, pardon me. Come on. No! Don't die! Lost control of my faculties and I apologize. I will try to keep my temper under control. Sorry. Okay. That's frustrating as all hell. Oh! My wife laughs at me all the time when I rage because she thinks I sound like a complete idiot, and she's right. I'm never gonna argue that fact. When I start getting mad and my swearing starts going crazy, she just laughs and rolls her eyes, or every once in a while she's like, dude, seriously? You need to calm down. Alright, let's go, let's go. By the way, if anything that's genuinely offensive ever accidentally slips out of my mouth, I am so sorry. I don't mean it that way. My brain just goes kind of like the kid from Christmas Story. It just goes off. And then things start flying out of my mouth and I don't even know what I'm saying half the time. And that's not good. And I know that. But so I do apologize if I've ever said anything. What game boss makes you rage the most? The Valkyrie. The final Valkyrie in God of War on PS4. That one. Oh, I hate that thing. Sword. Lightning. Although, Phoenix, I gotta be honest, this one's getting pretty close. Okay, come on. We can do this. We can do this, right? Right? Can we? I think we can. Can we do this? I'm hoping we can do this. Fuck off, purple. One. Two. Three. How many hits is this supposed to take anyway? How did that miss? He went right through it. What, is he immune when he's spinning? That's horse crap. There he goes. Come on. Yeah, the last Valkyrie fight, Phoenix, is gonna make you rage like you've never raged before in your life. I will almost guarantee that shit. It is just so aggravating. Okay, okay, I got this. I got this. I got lots of friggin' healing still-ish. Don't you dare try and throw me off the side of this thing. I will get angry. Okay. Don't let him touch you while you spin around, because it hurts and it's bad for you. Okay. Getting there, getting there. Don't you dare start throwing me in the infinite loop of health loss due to falling off the side. Come on! Will you just please dot? No! See, the wind shifted too! It just... This thing just... Ah! Yes! Some of the last couple of bosses in Elden Ring made me want to throw my controller. It was like, oh, hey, here's another boss. Oh, hey, another. Oh. Pardon me, single digits on... Yeah, right? So we want to talk about, like, absolute horseshit boss encounters. That's one of them! Alright. Now. Erp, derp, herp, blurp. Get away, don't touch me. No, that's a no feeling. Yep, up we go! Alright, so, looks like we're going on another herb run. That's just sort of how it's going to be. I keep thinking that if I, you know, stock up ridiculously much, like with 60, 70 herbs, I should be able to get through a few dungeons, but apparently, that's not true. So, back to the Millennium Tree. to go do some more resource gathering. La 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 la. Hey. Zelda Breath of the Wild, Trial of the Sword. Maybe you want to rage. If you died, you had to start at the beginning. Oh, yeah, you know what? Those combat trials that they put you through in Zelda games, they're definitely rage-inducing. And I swear to you, it's partially luck to get you through those. Like, you just have to get lucky and have certain things go certain ways and not have to heal as often. But as skilled as you are, or you may be, I always feel like there's a certain element of luck to surviving things like that. Certainly was with the Valkyrie battles at the end of, with the God of War. When you were fighting all of those myriad Valkyries. It was pretty ridiculous, man. I'm going to go looking for the barracks. Are they up here? Is this where they are? Good. This bed looks so warm and comfy. How about a little naparoo? Yes. Zelda Breath of the Wild, Trial of the Sword. Yeah. Woo! So, sorry about my language, folks. I apologize. I sometimes get a little bit rude. Alright, so we're going to go back. We're going to get some more herbs. If I can find my way back downstairs, which seems less likely the further we go. Oh, there it is. Hey, Dragonspire X, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Just missed the death of the wind elemental. Wind elemental. When you get to my age, you sometimes feel like you're a wind elemental yourself, if you know what I mean. Old people jokes. They're so funny. Alright, let's go do some gold farming. Dragonspire X, I'm going to be honest with you. Probably not. I still have 2 more dungeons to go. And I don't think I'm going to get through them in the time that I have today. So, probably... It looks like I'm averaging about a dungeon a day. So a dungeon per stream. So probably another 2-3 streams to finish this off. And then we will move on to the next game. Unless if everyone is genuinely, violently sick of this game, we can always just... You know, I can just do this last little bit on my own at some point, and we can move on to something else. So, you guys let me know if you're really sick of this game. We can change it up and get something fresh going. But my hope is to beat this while streaming. This is pardon. Yeah, I know. That's kind of the thing, right? I am very close. To finished, so yeah, I'd like to see it through. I'm sure there are folks that would like to see it brought to full conclusion. So we're getting there. Finish it! Rob Man wins. Fatality. Woohoo! The synthesizer is a very underappreciated instrument, in my opinion. The 80s could not have been the 80s without massive amounts of synthesizer. So, you know. Listen to the sweet riffs they're playing on this, man. We've already seen over 20 hours of this, would suck if you did not show the end now, right? Fair. There's a good point there. Alright. I will take your coin. What is the goal of this game? Like, what quest are we on? So, wow, that's a... Here we go, the quick summary. Your character's father was a knight of great renown who saved the world at one point. His name was Sir Giles. Sir Giles passed away with his wife when he was trying to destroy the Dark Titan, which was sealed away by the 4 elementals, who then had their powers sealed in orbs that were hidden in dungeons. I was brought to try and help because the Dark Wizard Pazort wants to wake the Dark Titan again and needs the power of the 4 elemental orbs to do so. He was able to steal all 4 elemental orbs, releasing the elementals, and then I had to kill his generals in order to get those orbs back so that I can then go into this dungeon, try to fight Pazort, get my ass handed to me, find out that the 4 elementals still need to be killed and resealed, so that then I can go back and fight Pazort to save the world before the Dark Titan can destroy the planet. There we go! Whew! Yes, I will be making more videos on my YouTube channel. At least that is the plan. I'm hoping to do so in the near future. There should be one coming up in the next little bit. Like we're talking a couple of weeks, hopefully, if I can get all the editing done well and record it fairly. Of course, crystals to represent the elements sounds familiar. It's a bit tropey, not gonna lie. There's been quite a few games that have done that. Although not quite with such amazing music. Oh, the amount of item swapping without quick swaps in this game. It's painful. Alright, here we go. Do I play Xenoblade? I have a copy of Xenoblade Chronicles. And I have Xenoblade on the Wii, actually. Haven't finished either. Xenoblade Chronicles X, I played a bit of at John's. My review for it can be summed up in 3 words. Rob Mann's 3-word review for Xenoblade Chronicles X is menus, menus, menus. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the water dungeon and Ocarina of Time, definitely with the constantly needing to switch into and out of the boots. But at least those could be assigned to a hotkey, and then just switch on, switch off, switch on, switch off. Here, you have to actually go through the menus. At least I think so. Wasn't that the way it was? Weren't the boots able to be, the weighted boots in Water Temple able to be toggled by a button? Or am I mistaken on that? I don't remember now. It has been a long time since I played Ocarina of Time. Got him! Not in the original. Oh, so then it was just like this. Into the menu, take them off. Into the menu, put them on. Into the menu, take them off. Into the menu, put them on. Oh my god! And you know what's amazing? I didn't even finish the 3DS version of it. I didn't. No shame in saying that. I didn't. It looked pretty, but I never actually played all the way through. Punch. No, you're being a pain in my butthole. Please stop that caterpillar. We'll be playing TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Oh, yes! Not on stream, but I will be playing it. Come on, man. A new TMNT side-scrolling beat-em-up, and you can play as April O'Neil, and as Casey Jones, and as Splinter. Yeah, all over that one. Come on, man. I love it. I love the look of it. The screenshots that I've seen so far, I love that they've brought back the super cartoony look. It looks like it's going to be a comfort game. One of those old mindless side-scrolling beat-em-up types. Like, so love it. I miss when there was, like, the console market was predominantly side-scrolling beat-em-ups and shooters and platformers. And then you had the wonderfully rare but usually far more spectacular RPGs that would come out, right? Like, JRPGs used to be fewer and farther between, but the ones that did come out really did shine. Now I feel like there's a lot of them churned out. 90% of them are strategy RPGs if they're turn-based at all. And then they always try and reinvent the wheel with the combat system and the level-up systems. There was like, oh, well, we've got some sort of a hybrid alchemy demon-breeding dating simulation combat system and level up that you can use to gather a harem of monsters that you can sleep with to get STDs that give you different abilities. Like, what? Just attack, magic, defend, item, run. Good. Give me experience points, and when I level up, increase my stats. I really don't need that much. Yeah, it's out next week and it's day 1 on Game Pass. So anyone with Game Pass, I'm letting you know, TMNT Shredder's Revenge will be a day 1 release for Game Pass. Woohoo! Well, I'll tell you, for D&D, I love making... I'm going to pause it for it. Nah, I can do this while it's just this. I love making weird characters. Or characters that have some sort of a difference or a nuance to them. My first really major D&D character was for the Barovia campaign that we played with our old DM. And his name was Nock, which stood for No One of Consequence. And he was an orc, or half-orc, raised in an orphanage of Lathander, but the abbot thought that all orcs were inherently evil, so he used to, if Nock's temper ever flared, beat him, whip him, lashes, basically flogged him to try and beat the evil out of him. So he never used his anger, he never used that, and so he was a fighter class to start. But as we played, and as we role-played with the character and with the other members of the party, he slowly became accepting of his own inner aggression and transitioned into a fighter-barbarian mix. But every time he would use his rage, he would later go off on his own because he had to self-flagellate, which it means basically flog himself like they used to in the old days of certain monasteries. So if he allowed his rage to get the better of him, he had to go and give himself his lessons, punish himself for having done so. So it was a very dark character, which is very different from my usual brand of sort of silliness and upbeat personality. But I enjoyed exploring that dark side of his nature and that dichotomy of personality, in that he is a half-orc, he has this rage, it's a genetic trait to him, and he should be willing to accept it, but he had so much indoctrination against it that he forced himself to do terrible things to himself in order to forgive himself for it. My next character was a tiefling. We did an all-tiefling party, 5 of them traveling together, and he was basically a collections agent for the guilds. So he was an elbow breaker. He was an enforcer, and so he was a tavern brawler fighter. So I'm sure you can see I usually do like barbarian fighter type characters, but I like to give them a bit of a weird twist, something of a bit of a personality quirk. Get a stronger bond with the party. Know what we mean? There are no more dungeons, just 3 bosses. Whoever you will have to go back into the last dungeon you were in to pick up the key we missed. Shit monkeys. Okay. Well, let's do up some herbs and then go find that thing. I'm gonna need the herbs for the boss fights. What was this down here? Sorry. And get a stronger bone. Yeah. Shredder's Revenge comes out on Thursday. Would love a box version of Earthbound. Yeah, well, wouldn't we all? That sounds so awesome. I love the whole story behind it. Yeah, I actually wrote 3 chapters of what was supposed to be the novel of the backstory of the guy growing up in the convent or the orphanage, and how he was treated and what that did to him. I got really into the darker side of that. I enjoy exploring darker characters. Then on the other side of it, I have a character that I have yet to use that's a half-orc, but he's built like a tank. He's typical half-orc physique, but he's 3 feet tall because the other parent was a gnome. And his name is Grunt Swifthammer, the Bane of Kneecaps. And he is a fighter-barbarian hybrid as well. But he travels around on his battle mount, which is a goat named Thump. And it has the big, long, curling back horns. And when he sits in the saddle, he holds the horns like the handles of a Harley Davidson. And the goat has massive flatulence, so that as he rides around, it like a motorbike when he's riding. So that is very much a much sillier character. And do I think that my characters are reflections of myself and my own life? I think there are elements of myself in my D&D characters. I like to try and put that in there. I mean, Nock obviously had a very difficult childhood, as I did in many ways. Not familial-wise, thankfully, but certainly the rest of it. I do like to think there's a small glimmer of some aspect of my personality in there, but I also like to think there are aspects in there that it's free and safe to explore in an environment like a fantasy game. So I can explore darker avenues. I can explore some of the less savory aspects of my personality and my mind, and I can observe them in a safe place. Once a man said that he hopes to die the way that his grandfather had died, peacefully in his sleep, not screaming in terror like the passengers in his car. Yes. So yeah, I mean, I do try to bring some of me into my characters. It can be hard to separate the art from the artist. It can be done, though. Case in point, if I ever got to do actual acting, one of the roles that I would love to do the most would be that of one of those really creepy serial killer types. Just because I've never understood what on earth could possess a person to go there. But to try and explore that aspect of the mind would be very fascinating to me. It's a dark and disturbing world, but it's one that I just can't grok how a mind could work that way. That's the value of fantasy, dealing with difficult themes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely it is. I mean, D&D can be some of the cheapest therapy you can get. Let's be honest. I mean, you get to explore all sorts of things in a safe environment that you might otherwise never think of. Rob Man is Hannibal. I ate his liver with some fava beans and an ice cube tea. But it's that deadness behind the eyes that fascinates me to no end. Homelander, if anyone here watches The Boys, which is that is a dark show. I will warn you now. If you don't watch The Boys, if you have not seen it, and you're thinking of it, be ready for some very difficult and uncomfortable things. However, Homelander that actor is so good at that smile that has completely dead eyes. He can smile the biggest, most bright, beaming, teethy smile, but stare at those eyes. They are cold and dead inside, and it is horrifying. And then you see the things that he does in that show without an ounce of remorse, and you're baffled. But then they tell you about his upbringing, his childhood, how he was brought into the world. What, like, it's just messed up. Dragonspire, my grandfather fell asleep behind the wheel with my mother and aunt in the car. They all survived, but it was the last time he drove a car. Oh my. Sorry for my effed up English. No, not at all. TK85, what's up? Homelander is my favorite psychopath. Right, but he is a psychopath. But acting is such an amazing art in that you can become that without actually having to become that. You know what I mean? Like, it's truly spectacular. Matt Doyle, honestly, I think rather than death, the best thing that could be done to Homelander would be to strip him of all of his powers and leave him to live with the consequences of what he's done as someone who is not immortal and invincible, as someone who can get hurt. Yeah, right? Well, what The Boys is to me is an excellent example of what would happen in, and I hate to say it, what the United States would actually be like if there were real superheroes. All corruption and corporate greed. All of it. All of it. And I'm sorry, but that's the truth. That's the way that North America runs, and especially the States. It would absolutely be crooked. It would that guy would absolutely be a corporate, they'd have all of these workshop groups that, what would be best for your ratings as a hero? Like, god damn it. Fucking freaks me out. Like, that's why that show is so terrifying. What was it like playing Ocarina of Time for the first time? It was amazing. The first time I ever played it was playing the demo at the Walmart with John when we swore to ourselves we wouldn't, and it was mind-blowing. I mean, this generation will never see a leap forward in gaming technology like we saw when we jumped from the 2D to the 3D. There is no comparison. There just isn't. You can't... You'll never have a jump like that again. And it was such an amazing thing to experience. But yes, the Boys is spectacular. I will never say it's not, but it is horrifying. It's like, I hate to say it, but the movie Idiocracy. Every time I watch that, I get a little more anxious. Because unfortunately, I'm seeing the world traveling that path. It really is. This almost cultural need to make fun of those who are intelligent and sensitive and inquisitive, and to mock them for that upsets me. This focus on catering to the lowest common denominator, to dumbing everything down, to reducing educational requirements, to this deification of youth and foolishness frightens me. I am so sad that our world has gotten to a point where it is more acceptable for a guy to have a man cave full of sports memorabilia and pinup posters than it is for a guy to have a den that is full of bookshelves and full of leather-bound books and art, and to, you know, really try and culturally enhance themselves. It's like looked down on these days, and that makes me so sad. Hey Rob, will you be watching the Xbox Showcase stream on Sunday? I didn't know they were doing one, but probably. I'm really hoping to see GoldenEye Remaster. Ooh, that could be nice. Castlevania Nocturne announced. New Netflix show. Interesting. Yeah, tonight, Violence Channel, new episode of Ow My Balls. Who looks down on that? Most, unfortunately, do. I mean, you're talking about a generation that grew up on Jackass and Married with Children and actually praised the values that were shown in those shows. Okay? So we have a generation that made someone like Bad Baby rich and famous for being what? A trashy piece of shit? With no talent, who treats people like garbage, and now she's rich and famous because of one interview that she did on Dr. Phil, which is a wholly, I mean, the Jerry Springer generation, throwing these people up on a stage and then cheering for them for their ignorance and for their horrid lifestyles and for their bad life choices, and we all, it's the days of bread and circuses, man. It's horrifying and wrong, whereas people who want to be in, like Neil deGrasse Tyson and that set, there is a small scientific community that is still very strong, but it's declining. Just seriously, watch Idiocracy and then tell me that's not actually what's happening. It's terrifying. The world is in trouble. I am so worried about it. I'm sorry, I'm getting dark and deep here, but I'm like, seriously, I am scared for this planet and for society, because I don't think we're gonna last much longer. You know, like it's. We're making the mistakes of the past over and over because people are like, oh, the past is over, forget it. No! You can't! The past is what teaches us what stupid things we did. I was reading a book at work because I just felt like reading and wanted to take a break from my games. Coworker's like, why? Right? I love reading. I love reading books. I haven't done it in a while, but I used to read all the time as a kid. Nope. If it ain't on the screen for $49.95, I don't want to play it. Like, We used to despise Kim Kardashian, right? Like that. Okay, it was that whole thing, that the era where Jerry Springer was one of the top TV shows, where Paris Hilton was being praised for being this amazing celebrity. For what? For being promiscuous and having a rich dad? That made her famous? Okay. No. Like, that's why the smart kids at school get picked on. You don't score points for the football team, you're just a fucking nerd. Wow, okay. Cool. So intelligent people aren't worth much, but the sports heroes are the ones that get praised and lauded, and they get paid millions and millions of dollars for playing a sport, while doctors are also overpaid, but they're compensated by a system that basically, if you can't afford your medicine, you're going to die. It's, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going on and on and on and on now, and it's becoming like a soapbox that I shouldn't get on. Because people aren't here to hear me talk about that. They're here to watch me play video games and make dick jokes. So I'm sorry. I will get back to the dick jokes of video games now. But yeah. Of course, all of this is coming out of my mouth while I am literally playing video games on the internet. So, It's not like I'm making anything better myself. It's not like I'm up here reading Shakespeare and, you know, discussing art. I'm playing a video game and swearing. So, yeah, exactly. I like this. Thanks, Video Game Stupid and Matt Doyle. I appreciate it. Sorry, I went off on a bit of a crazy rant there. Well, see, I worry sometimes if what I say is like polarizing, or if it's, you know, going to cause schisms. Like, I'm not trying to say that I'm better than anybody. All I'm trying to say is that I miss the days when being an honor roll student was considered a good thing, as opposed to something to be mocked for and picked on for. I miss the days when people en masse were excited about the latest developments in science, as opposed to who was on The Bachelor last night. You know, I mean, the moon landing was an amazing event that the entire world watched and everyone was invested in. If something like that was happening today, a small handful of people who are actually into that kind of stuff would watch. It would probably be overshadowed by reruns of Roseanne. Like, really? Okay. Cool. And the governments are throwing all of their money into all sorts of crazy shit, like, you know, the military. We stopped exploring space. We gave up on it. We have been to the moon once. What the hell? Why don't we go back? Why are we not doing space? Oh, no. We don't want to spend money on exploring space. No. Now there's not enough people to make it viable anyway. But it's just like, no. Let's work instead on, you know, pills that make your boner last longer. Oh, okay, cool, great, yeah. That's what our science needs right now. Let's not work on actual cures for diseases either, because it's far more profitable to just, you know, try and treat the symptoms and keep them sick. You know, like, for fuck's sake. Sorry, I'm going off again. The guy who invented the polio vaccine made it free because he wanted the world to be a better place. Now Big Pharma won't do anything for free. They want to make as much profit as they can out of it. It used to be people wanted to look out for each other. You looked out for your community. You looked out for your neighbors. You looked out for your friends and family. Nowadays, so much of the focus is on me first. I mean, that's why divorce rates are so high. It wasn't about us. It was about what can I get out of this relationship. And it breaks my heart. I have been married now for... It'll be 18 years in September. 18 years that I've been married. No fights. You know why? Because there's no need for them. We talk. We consider each other's feelings. We, you know, we put each other's needs first as much as we can. A relationship should be built on 90% give and 10% take. Every once in a while, there's a one thing that you know you really, really want, that you really, you know, and you should be allowed to have that. But you also spend as much of your time as you can making sure your partner gets what they need and want. And if you're both focusing on what the other person needs and wants, then you're both going to end up getting what you need and want. And it's going to be basically all compromised the whole way along. And it should work out well. There should never be a need for a fight, because it should be more of I mean, we've had misunderstandings, but then we talk. You know, like, oh, what are you doing? Well, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Well, I thought you were going to do A, B, and C. Why would you think that? Well, because of this and that from our conversation. Oh, I can see why you would have thought that. I apologize for the miscommunication. No, I meant X, Y, and Z. But when I'm done X, Y, and Z, I can certainly do A, B, and C. Right? Like, that's so easy. That's it. No fight. No fight. Just communication. Just talk. Talk. Be open. Be willing to accept, you know, what the other person has to say and take it to heart. Really, if you just care about other people, just a little. Just worry about their needs a little bit. Doesn't matter who it is. Other people. Care about other people's needs ahead of your own just a bit. And if we all do that, then we all are taking care of each other, which means we are being taken care of by the nature of the fact that everybody's looking after everybody else. It's that simple. Well, pride is a terrible thing, you know? Being proud of your accomplishments is one thing, but when you have too much pride to be willing to admit that you're wrong, That's unhealthy. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody is wrong sometimes. I'm wrong a lot. And I learn from it, and I accept when I make mistakes, and I try and open my mind, and I try and educate myself on things where I may have been incorrect and made mistakes. And I do my best to be the best me that I can be. You know? So, yeah, I just... In the end of the day, I just really wish that people could appreciate the differences without seeing them as such a problem. Think of them more as something to be enjoyed. Something to help you learn and expand yourself as a person. You know? I mean, I read the Bible. I was quite devoutly Christian for many years. But I since looked at it, and although I agree with a lot of the statutes and messages that were set forth by the version of the Bible that we're reading today, love each other, respect each other, be humble, be a good person, I do not care for organized religion, because it, to me, is a power structure. And once you become a power structure in a business, you are no longer promoting the message that was originally intended. You are promoting, give me money so that I can share this message with you, which really upsets me. So, you know, it's... that was my work phoning, because as soon as I'm done here, I have to do a training course for my employers. But it's... Yeah, man, just... See people's differences as an opportunity to learn and grow. And hope that they see the same. And we'll all learn so much more, grow so much more, understand each other so much more. And don't always insist that everything has to be the way you want it. It doesn't. It's better for it not to be the way you want it sometimes. Sometimes it's good for other people to have their way. Because then you'll be exposed to new things you might not have tried otherwise. Okay? While I was in Japan the first time, I ate everything that was put in front of me. I asked people not to tell me what was in it until after I'd tasted it, just in case. But I ate everything. And there were some things that were spectacularly delicious that if I had known what was in it ahead of time, I might not have eaten. They have a snack there called horomon that they usually have at izakaya, which is like a pub. And it's little nuggets of grilled meat. And they were delicious. Afterwards, I found out that it's actually little nuggets of flame grilled pig intestine. Had I known that at the outset, I might not have been willing to try it. But because I did try it first, it was delicious. And it paired really well with beer. So, you know, hey, bonus. I now have a kind of food that I love that I might not have tried otherwise. Stuff like that, man. It's just give things a chance, you know? And as long as other people aren't as long as someone isn't hurting other people, let them enjoy what they enjoy. No judgment. You know? Some people love pineapple on pizza. I'm one of them. Some people think it's absolutely terrible. That's fine. You're allowed to not like it. I respect that you don't like it. But don't tell me not to have it just because you don't like it. I don't think that's fair. You know? As long as it's not hurting other people. Now, beer and pig intestine sounds like a wholesome dwarven meal. Yeah, it could be. I mean, you know, you'd probably have to have a little bit of gravel on there for spice, but yeah, absolutely. Now, when it comes to opinions that unfortunately impact other people's quality of life, I do tend to draw a bit of a line. Okay? I understand that some belief structures do not mesh with other lifestyles, but if you don't want to engage in that lifestyle, don't. And full respect for it. Don't tell other people they can't live their life the way that they're comfortable living it, as long as it doesn't hurt others. Right? Life is like a bag of dicks. Sometimes you're going to deal with a little prick. Yes. Very true. And sometimes you're going to deal with a massive prick. And sometimes it's just going to be okay. But, you know, it's yeah, so I mean, as long as, yeah, what are my favorite gaming snacks? I'm a big fan of dill pickle potato chips. I mean, the potato is the ultimate food to me. I love it in every iteration you can serve it in. Mashed, boiled, fried, baked. It's hash browns. It's potato pancakes. It's whatever you got, man. I love me some potatoes. So, dill pickle potato chips are one of my favorite gaming snacks. I'm rather fond of Bits and Bites. Twinkies, surprisingly. Big fan of Twinkies. Love them. I know they're horrible. I know they're 90% chemicals. I know that they're basically just a bunch of preservatives and some cream filling, but man, I just can't get enough of those damn things. They're delicious. I'd be like Woody Harrelson in Zombieland if that ever happened. The zombie screaming around, I just want to taste that one beautiful Twinkie one more time. Irish blood? Yeah, I got a bit of Irish, Scottish, Welsh, English, French, touch of German, and some indigenous Canadian in me. Like tiny little bit of indigenous. Because my ancestors preferred to actually intermingle with the people who were here. No Swedish, I'm afraid. No Swedish for me. My cousin lives in Sweden. Does that count? But yeah, no, predominantly UK background. I'm from Ireland. How Irish are we talking here? Well, usually if you want the predominance of it, I like to tell people I'm half Scottish and I'm half Irish. I love to drink, but I hate to pay for it. So, hopefully that tells you. I mean, there's a subtle difference between the Scottish and the Irish. You might be able to pick it up. The Scottish, oh, I love me a good bit of haggis. Irish, diddly dee potatoes. So there's, subtle, but you can find it. That's a joke, by the way. I'm being silly. But yeah, like, one of my favorite whiskeys in the world is Bushmills. Love me some Bushmills. Especially that are 25-year sherry cask aged, although I've only had 1 ounce of it once at a bar, like a whiskey bar, because I was splurging. What's your opinion on Guinness? I'm sorry, are we discussing the sweet, sweet nectar of life? Because if we're discussing the sweet, sweet nectar of life, which is a pint of the black, it is the sweet, sweet nectar of life. But I've never had true Guinness, because I've only ever had the North American version, which is probably absolute bog water by comparison to the wonder that comes out of the brewing vats in Ireland itself, in the brewery. Someday I will go there, and God willing, I will have my ashes scattered on that sacred ground. Does that tell you? I think I've stunned Mr. Doyle. Ahoy, Arcade Ages! How you doing? Welcome to the stream. We are being silly. I've offended you and your culture. You don't like Guinness? What? The hell? How have I offended your culture? Is Guinness like that shit that you only sell to tourists? Is that what's going on? Yeah, I am part Irish, part Scottish, part English. Bit of Welsh, French. Touch of German. So what is it, Mr. Doyle, that you disapprove of from what I've just said? Is Guinness the stuff of tourist traps and nothing else to you? Ooh, pardon me, I burped. Oh, the diddly dee potatoes. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm offending my own culture too, you know. But come on. It's a joke, my man. I mean, look, again, if I'm half Scottish and half Irish, I mean, I'm going to be beating the shit out of myself everywhere I go. And then you put the English here, and then both the Scottish and Irish parts of me want to kill the English part of me. And all 3 of them want to kill the Welsh part of me. And all 4 of them want to kill the French part of me. So, I mean, you know, I just offend myself everywhere I go. I'm a walking contradiction of existence. But yes, I was going to say, I'm going to ask you a question now, Mr. Doyle, to test your Irish authenticity, sir. Have you ever chugged an entire pitcher of Guinness in a straight go? think that's probably a fair question. Conan O'Brien used to make fun of potatoes. Making fun of your own culture is the most UK thing ever. Come on, man. No, you haven't. I have. I have actually once chugged an entire pitcher of Guinness in a straight go. And I'll tell you something. That was a mistake. A mistake I will never repeat. And the story to that is unique. When I was a younger lad, back in my far back days, I did spend 4 months living in a very small town in interior British Columbia known as Quesnel. Now, on the weekends, I got a job DJing at the Shark Club. Yeah, it's as dismal as it sounds. However, we did music trivia nights, and one of those nights we had the rodeo crowd in town because, let's face it, interior BC sure does love their rodeos. And so, between rounds, as a joke, I picked up the mic and said, hey, I bet if people wanted to bribe me for some extra points, they could probably send up a pint, know what I said, pint, of Guinness. As a joke. So, still get pissed for half the price. Nice. So, next thing you know, up to the DJ booth comes one of the waitresses with 2 pitchers of Guinness and 3 shots of tequila. And with the names of the teams that had supplied them. I'm a man of my word. So I picked up the mic and I said, hey, I got to hand out some free points. I got this team, and this team. And it looks like somebody wants to see me get shit-faced tonight. And everybody started cheering. Woo! Like you've never seen bigger belt buckles and hats in your life than this rodeo crowd had. And so they're cheering, and I was like, all right. So I picked up one of the pitchers of Guinness, and I seriously slammed the thing back. And it was about 15 minutes later when I realized my mistake as a bowling ball formed in my guts and sat there for the rest of the night. The tequila thinned it out a little bit, but not much. And I'll tell you something. The next morning, and this might be TMI, I basically gave birth to a pitch black boa constrictor. So I will never chug a pitcher of Guinness again. But that's my story. That's what happened to me. Yeah, Matt, I'm telling you, it was ugly. It was ugly. And then mixing that with tequila, I mean, they couldn't even send up a couple of fingers of Bushmills or Jamesons to make it proper. You know? You do a little bit of a, you know, Guinness and whiskey side by side. That's a beautiful drink. But yeah, that was painful, man. Painful. Oh, absolutely the Guinness shits. I have suffered. I have suffered for my love of the Guinness. And I've happily done so. Because Guinness is just the sweet, sweet nectar of human life. Alright, so, Crampton has been giving me directions on how to get to that other key that I missed so that we may get to the last 3 boss fights. Although those are probably going to be tomorrow. Because I'm looking at the time. And I'm gathering my money. So we're probably going to finish this one more time by buying an absolute arseload of herbs. And then preparing for the last assault on this place. 1 key, 3 bosses. The Black Mamba. This I don't think Megamind had that in mind when he named his outfit the Black Mamba. I don't think he was naming it after the Guinness shits. Oh my lord. Actually, another drink that I'm quite partial to is a black and tan on days when I don't want quite as much of the weight of the Guinness. So you drink through your Guinness, then you drink through a nice pale ale. It's a lovely mix, that. I'm not gonna lie. It's quite fantastic. Alright, out the door and back. Ayo. What do we got? What do we need? Alright, we're at 611 gold. That will get me 60 herbs. How many do I still have? 9. I'd have nice herbs. Try that next time I'm out with the lads. Oh, black and tan! You've not had a black and tan! come on. What's up with that? It's lovely. A really skilled bartender can make it with Guinness in Kilkenny. There was one bartender. We used to, the missus and I used to go to Fog and Suds, which was a chain that was here in BC. That was named after Phineas Fogg, who went around the world in 80 days. And this was, basically, they served beers from all over the world. That was their draw. They had a beer menu. There was all different beers imported from all the different corners of the world. Some on tap, some in bottles. And then they also had, like, all sorts of different kinds of food. I used to go there, and I would get black and tan, but I asked once, would it be possible to make it with Kilkenny and Guinness? Because they're so close in density. That's what makes the Guinness float on the other beers, is that it's so much thicker and heavier. But Kilkenny is so close that I wasn't sure it would work. And they had one bartender that actually managed it. And I will tell you, drinking through a Guinness and then getting into a Kilkenny and finishing with that cleaner finish on the Kilkenny is amazing. Bartenders of Pure Spit Guinness over here. They give you the evil eye if you order anything but a standard pint. Well, yeah, and okay, I also once for a stint, I was a bartender at the British Ex-Servicemen's Association over here in Vancouver. And it's basically like the Legion Hall, but for British expats. So, one of my first shifts, I had my bartending degree and everything, but one of my first shifts, actually, well, of course it was my first shift, and I was tapping a Guinness. And I literally did what you would do with any other standard, like, lager or anything like that. I put it on a 45-degree angle, I filled it up to the top, and then I set it down. The guy that I was tapping that for reached across the bar and slapped me across the face, open like as hard as he could, slapped me. And then he took the pint and dumped it down the sink and said, "That goes in your barrel, prick. And if I ever see you do that again, I will take you out back and give you the right business." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And he said, "That's not how you do a pint of Guinness." And he showed me the proper way. You fill it halfway at a 45-degree angle, and then you set it on the pedestal underneath the tap, and you let it settle. Then, with it still sitting, that distance below on the pedestal, you pull the handle and fill it to the top, set it on the counter, and let it settle again. Then, you put the shamrock in the head of the foam and send it out. Anything less is completely unacceptable. Hey, Chad Sable! How you doing, boss? Welcome to chat. My first ever, a rookie mistake. Been barman around a year. Yeah. So my very first pint of Guinness. The game is all right. I'm just getting to the point where I'm about to go and buy a bunch of herbs, and then we're gonna unfortunately have to save and continue another time because I have a bunch of work I got to do today. Unfortunately. Not as bad. I did one. Pardon me, chat. I did one boss fight already, and not quite as bad. Anyway, what was I saying there? So my first pint of Guinness was at the Highland Games here in Vancouver. I was 16 at the time, and I went in. And yes, I know it sounds weird to say Highland Games and Irish beer, but yes, it happened. I mean, Canada is a bit of a weird place for that. They kind of, mix all of the Celtic cultures together. So I walked into the beer tent, and it was fairly empty. It wasn't super busy at this point. I think I was there a bit earlier in the go. And I walked up to the barman, and this guy had to be 6'4", bald, massive red beard, black tank top, kilt, full kit there, spore and all that, Dirk in the sock, and standing behind the bar. And I walked in. I said, I'd like a pint of Guinness, please. And he looked at me and said, "You know how to pint of Guinness before, lad?" I said, "No." "Alright. I'm going to teach you the 3 tests of a true Guinness. Alright? Because I feel bad for you that you've no had it." And this stuff was from Ireland. They brought it over. And so he starts tapping the pint. And I should have remembered from watching this guy. He taps the pint in half, sets it down. I was like, "Aren't you going to fill it?" "Shut up." Okay. Fills it the rest of the way. And he hands me one, and he picks up one for himself. And he goes, "Alright, there's your first test of your pint of Guinness. If it's a true Guinness, hold yon pint up to his sun, and a light will no shine through it. And he held it up, and I held it up over the sun, and it was like that scene in 2001. Dun, 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 dun. Pitch black. No light. He said, alright, your second test of a true Guinness. You take out a quarter, and he pulled out a quarter, and you set it on your head, and it'll no sink. And he sat a quarter on the head of that Guinness, and it stayed there. And he took it off and don't waste alcohol. Put it back in the sporn, and he said, alright, your third test is this. And he took his little finger and he drew the shamrock in the head of the beer, and he said, now fuck off and drink your pint, you little tit, and come back when you're done. And so I went and sat down and sipped my pint and watched some caber toss and watched some hammer throw, some of the piping bands walking around. It was amazing. And then when my pint was done, I went back in and I said, okay, so what's the third test? He said, look in the bottom of your glass, lad. And I looked in, and the shamrock was still there in the head, sitting in the bottom of the pint glass. And he said, that's the third test of a true Guinness. If I can't hold that for the entire time, it's not properly poured. Now here's one on the house, because I feel sorry for you, and fuck off, you little tit. And that was it. It's the end of it. That was my first pint of Guinness. I bless that man every day that I'm alive. He did a poor 16-year-old idiot a hell of a lot of good that day. Taught me some important truths about life. Things I needed to know. Yes, absolutely God tier barman. I don't know what happened to him, but I hope he lived a very happy and comfortable life. Oh, cheers, Phoenix. It's, accents follow me home like stray puppies. John used to get so mad at me because when I'd go visit and I'd chat with his mum, I would start picking up her accent, and it just pissed him off. Like, well, it did, because he was like, you're not English, you're not English, you're not English. It's like, you don't understand, I can't help it. I'm not trying to do this on purpose. When I'm around someone with an accent, it worms its way into my skull, and it stays there, and it starts spitting back out at them. And often I've been asked if I'm making fun of people. They're like, are you making fun of me? I'm like, I'm not. I swear to you. It just happens. Right? So, like, I'd phone John to see if he was home, and and what I would get is his mum picking up the phone. Hello? And I'd be like, hey, is John there? Oh, no, love, he's just popped out down the shops. It should be back about maybe 5 minutes. You want to come down for a couple while you wait then, eh? Or you can just stay there, love, and I can have him call you when he gets in there. And that, I swear to God, was what I'd hear back. So when I was over there, I'd be like, oh yeah, could you put on cuppa then? Alright, go for a cup of tea. And he'd be like, you're not fucking English. I'm like, I know I'm not fucking English. But I can't help it. It just happens. Leave me alone. So yeah, it was a bit tense at times, I'm not gonna lie. That and the fact that, I mean, I was raised in a very British way. My mum was raised very English, but very below the stairs English. I mean, let's be honest. But yeah, so I mean, like, it's when I first met my grandfather-in-law, Grandpa Stagg, and I mean, he was Scottish as the day is long. My partner's grandparents come from Glasgow and Edinburgh, respectively. And I mean, let's be honest, there's no way that should have worked. Yet it did. But when I first met him, she warned me, like, he's got a really thick accent. You might not be able to understand him. I was like, okay then. Let's see what happens. So I'm introduced to this guy, and we walk into their house. Her grandma opens the door. Walk into the house. Her grandpa is in the living room in a white tank top, a pair of tartan sweatpants, and he's lifting weights, working out to bagpipe music. Okay? This guy is Scottish. And so I get introduced, and I go over and I shake his hand, and he looks me right in the eyes. He's about this tall on me. Bald on the top, gray hair at the sides, big thick glasses, solid build, big ears, kind of very weather-worn face. He'd been in the British military in World War II. He'd been a butcher, and he'd also seen some combat. And he looks me up and down. And he goes, "Do you reckon you're going to be going out with my granddaughter? Do you kind of going to be okay with that?" And I said, I just, what made you so sure? I said, we can discuss that over 2 fingers of Glenfiddich. And he said, all right, you'll do. And that was it. But, like, yeah, he definitely had a very, very strong Scottish accent. But I have an ear for that stuff, I guess. I picked it up right away. I knew what he was saying. Johnny's mad he can't do the accent. John worked very hard to leave that accent behind, actually. When he first arrived in Canada, he got made fun of so badly for his accent that he worked so hard to lose it. And so that's why he doesn't really have an accent anymore. It's not that he's not, you know, proud of his heritage. It's just that for him, it was a kind of a survival thing. Welcome. I have wares. I know you do. I'm here to buy them. Healing herb costs 10 gold. Do you wish to buy it? Yes. Let's go. Let's go herb shopping. So is this a sativa? Is it an indica? What do you got? Is this turple? Is this purple Urkel? You got some sticky Hawaiian punch? What are we working with here? Maybe a little cherry pie. Could be some Girl Scout cookies. Maybe some bit of Tom Ford. I don't know. You got some of that 24 karat gold? Yeah, he did tell that story on the show. Yeah, well, he does have tiny hints of it left. There are little things, like the way he says H instead of H. There's tiny vestiges of it left, but he's worked really hard to get rid of it. I, on the other hand, they just come and go. They just come and go. Can't help it. It's because my accent, because of my English mother, is there. Ah! Like, my mum didn't have an accent, even though she was raised very British style. But it's there. Tea. The way that tea is made. If it is not done properly, I get in a lot of trouble from my mum. Because she knows. You have to put the milk in the cup first, she says. And you have to do it properly. You got to warm the pot, steep it for 5 minutes. Just got to get a good full steep, remove the tea bags, turn the pot 3 times with your shins to make sure that you've stirred up the sediment in the bottom. The milk goes in as soon as the tea starts to steep in the pot. Milk goes in the cup. And then it sits there for the 5 minutes to warm up so it doesn't scorch when you pour the tea in. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why you would do that. The other reason why is because below the stairs, the china was so cheap and thin, if you poured cold milk into a hot tea, the shock would cause the cup to break. I do drink tea from time to time, but not as much as I did back when I hung out with John. I have kind of converted to coffee, unfortunately. That's the Canadian in me. Now I drink Tim Hortons coffee so regularly it's almost frightening. I buy the grounds and make it at home. So remember if it were Johnny said, I cannot wait. And I could hear the accent. Yeah, there are certain words, certain sounds that it comes out a little bit. But nowhere near as strong as his mom's. Absolutely not. I'm a language major, so my accent is all over the place. Yeah, I think probably the next one will be the last one, Cramp, tonight. Yeah, I'll hopefully be able to be guided to that key, grab that, and then we'll go to the last 2. Because I'm guessing then, are the last 2 chambers just straight into the boss fight because you need those keys? Or is there still a runaround dungeon to do like that last one I just did? Let's find out. Yes to which? Bosses only. Nice! Alright. Well, there'll be one more. One more. I am buying a lot of herbs! My God, this is gonna take a while. Let's get cozy. Hi! Well, we talked about a lot of stuff today, guys. A lot. I apologize if I sounded soapboxy or ranty or preachy or anything. I am sorry. I do get very passionate about the things I talk about, though. And I do feel it's very important to discuss certain things. I think that... Oh, there I am with my caviar taste again. Caviar taste on a fish head budget. Everybody, I got 78 herbs! 78! So that should be able to get me through. Let's go save the game. Because it is time. I can see by the time on the clock on the wall that it's time to say goodnight to you all. So long, farewell, adieu, bye-bye. Talking to this guy. That, by the way, was the farewell song from an old TV show called Wayne and Schuster, a Canadian kind of a skit comedy show from back in the 70s and 80s. 2 pounds of jelly babies. Cramptonite has bought 2 pounds of jelly babies. Dear Lord, sir. Oh, I love the in-depth topics. Cheers, mate. Thank you. I hope it is, informative and kind of engenders some good conversations and discussions. That's what I hope for. I really do believe that the world could be in a much better place if everyone could just communicate a little more openly and a little more honestly with each other. Just try to be good to each other. Try to be understanding. I mean, I know it's a trope almost, this saying, but, you don't know what someone else has been through that day. So try to be understanding. I mean, obviously, if they're just being an absolute twat muffin for the sake of being a twat muffin, then, give them what's coming to them. But, I mean, try to be good to each other. I would hope that would be a thing. But, anyhow, we've come to the end of another stream. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for putting up with all of my long-winded talks and babbling and opinions and such. Hopefully you had fun, enjoyed, and we will see you again on Monday morning, bright and early at 9:30 a.m. for what we hope will be the conclusion of Shining Wisdom here on Rob Band World. And until then, thank you, and I love you very much. Bye, everybody.